Hi everyone. Welcome to this vlog. I'm sure you would think this is a podcast, but it's not a podcast. It's a family vlog, and a special family that I know decided to do this for our special guest. She's a beloved member of this community. She's a mother. She's a counselor, and as she's approaching her 70th birthday, the family was like, no, we need to do something special. So here's a family vlog, and join me to welcome Grace. So Grace, I want to start by uh, congratulating you upon reaching this milestone.
Thank you.
Welcome to our vlog, and we are looking forward to know more about you. And I'm sure this video is going to be very insightful for your grandkids, for your um, for your for the grandkids of the grandkids, you know. But let's jump right in. Welcome to the vlog, Grace.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Let's start right away. Tell us about your early life and the family you grew in.
I will start with introducing myself fully, because you introduced me by the name Grace, but I'm Grace Nsimbi Kamara. Nsimbi is my father's name, so I use it as my middle name. Kamara is a name I got when I got married. So some people know me as Grace Nsimbi. Those are the people I went to school with, and then there are others who know me as Kamara, Grace Kamara. So I keep the middle name as well. I'm Grace Nsimbi Kamara. My childhood, I was born in Masaka, in a small town beyond Masaka called Chotera. I grew up in a single mother, single parent setup. I grew up with my mother. My father was in my life as well, but we didn't live fully with him. But I saw him every now and then. My mother was a working woman. She was a nurse and midwife, and she had a maternity home right where I grew up. So I grew up in that kind of setting. She was a working mother. I grew up with a lot of helpers because my mother was a working mother. She worked 24/7. And I think that's why we had all we wanted to have. We went to good schools, so we are well provided for, no regrets whatsoever. And what I did not achieve is on me, it's not on her. She did her best, and I really will always appreciate her for that.
I'm pretty sure you've achieved so much. I don't think there's anything you've left out. I'd like to know, did you ever envision yourself having a large family yourself as well?
I would say no, really, because those are things we never used to talk about our times. Not like today when we discuss issues like that with our children and grandchildren. But I grew up in a big family. We were 6 siblings, but my mother took care of so many because she was the one who was financially stable and able, and who had the heart to help. So I grew up with so many cousins and nephews and nieces, and so it was always a full house. Maybe naturally, my nature went towards having a big family, but I never planned, honestly, to have a big family. It just so happened, and I have no regrets.
Awesome. Let's jump into your involvement in the community here in Boston, and your involvement in the church.
I would say maybe these things we are born with, you don't go to school for it. You can go to school to make it better, but I think you have to be a natural and have that in you. I went to school in Aga Khan schools, which were very expensive by then.
Yes.
But my mother could afford that, and very few parents black parents could afford it.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I went to Trinity College in Abingo.
Wow.
It was also a very good school. But I think in
the school for sharp girls like you.
Well, yes, you have to score to go there.
Yes.
So I think I picked those things in these schools because they were good schools, and then me being a natural in, talking to people, and even the family I grew in, my mother was always a leader in her family, in her community. I think I picked it up like that, but maybe naturally I have it. So I always find myself in that kind of environment where I'm talking to people. I don't call for it. I just find myself there.
When was your first involvement here in Boston in the community with the church?
I think I started in church.
What year was this, if you can remember?
I think it is way back like 2007.
Wow.
Or 8. Yeah. So the church where I was going, it's a Ugandan community church. They were asking who wants to be with the kids. And then I said, I want to be with the kids. So I started from then. I was with kids in Sunday school, and then the youth. But naturally, even my friends' children, I found them coming to me back home and telling me their issues. Our parenting, we Africans, the parents don't open up to their children. So you find the children opening up more to aunties and parents' friends. So I always found myself in that environment, and so it became something I like doing. I do it naturally. And then my children's friends always come to me with their issues.
That's nice.
And then my children say, oh, go and talk to my mom. She's good. She'll talk to you. As if they listen to everything I tell them. But that's how I started. And then it went on in Gwangamuje.
Okay.
It's a Uganda thing where they call me to go in camps and talk to children about behaviors and a lot of other things.
Is that where also your involvement in counseling the youth also picked up from?
Yeah, even that came through like that, but also because I'm a mother of 11. I'm a mother of 11.
That is not easy.
Don't ask me how I did it, because I don't know how I did it.
I'm
but
sure
I had a lot of help anyway, but I did it. And the teenagers gave me real headache. So I know what it means to bring up these children, teenagers, and I was living right in the center of the city, and it was tough taking care of those teenagers. So when I came here, I just found that the youth here don't have their families here or relatives, because back home you have an uncle, an auntie, a grandma to talk to. They don't have such people here. So my children, I think they pick it for me. They started by getting, there's an incident where they brought in someone. I was in Uganda, and then someone is staying in the house. So when I came back, someone told me, oh, there's a boy who stays in this house. I'm like, which boy, from where? Your children, they bring a boy here. So I called them and asked them, who is this boy? And then they told me, Mom, this boy has issues. He has nowhere to stay.
We had to help him.
And then I told them, okay, now you call him. I want to talk to him. I know who he is. So they called the boy. I looked at the boy. I could see he's really messed up. And I was like, I can't have this one in the house. But then I was like, how do I throw this boy out? He's the age of right kid.
Yeah, that is hard.
So I kept him, and some of my people I know, they were like, how can you keep a boy like that? He has bad habits and stuff like that. I was like, what do I do? So I talked to the boy. Long story short, I told him I need to know your parents. And because I can't keep you when I don't know your people. If something happens to you, what am I gonna do? So he gave me the number. I got in touch with his mother back in Uganda, and something moved me. The mother told me, she was just crying. She said, I knew my son has no home, but I've been praying every night to get an angel to pick up my son and take him on. And you are the angel I was looking for.
Wow.
So at this point, I became the mother. But I'm happy some of his habits changed. He was lazy, he was laid back, didn't want to work. He's now working. And that motivated me. I always, when my children bring friends here, I tell them, please come in my house. My house is always open. Come to me, talk to me if you have issues. Maybe they find me easy. I don't judge them, and I make them open.
That is good. Yeah,
so that's how I
ended up becoming a counselor.
Yes.
All right. In your journey of being a counselor, what are at least share with us like one of the biggest or most common challenges you face with the youth?
I think the most common challenge is back home in their homes with their parents. Because the parents, when we come in this country, we work so hard, and I think we get stressed so easily. So some of the problems come from home because a young person starts to misbehave, and then the parents get fed up and says, I don't care, you just go, and they throw them out. And you tell them, okay, can I talk to your parents? Oh, you can't talk to my parents. They don't even want to talk. So it would be good if we could sit together with the parents and find solutions together. But most parents don't want to face it.
No, the biggest challenge is they're not opening up.
They are not opening up. And another one, the parents don't know their children. They don't know what their children are doing, because all our children do things behind our backs. But take time and try to find out. We work so hard, but take time, have family meals, and talk to them. Give them time. But
understand
them. And also understand that they are young, they are going through a process. Don't say things like, oh, in our times we didn't do this. Those were your times.
Exactly.
This is different. Try to adjust. Try to adjust. I always tell parents and children, let's get the good cultures of Africa and the good cultures in America and put them together, and we get something beautiful, blend them. But the parents are stuck in the way they were brought up, and then it becomes a tug of war. That's a big challenge. We need to adjust to where we brought them.
Exactly.
Not in everything, but where necessary.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure throughout the years of you being a counselor, I'm sure there is that one story that you have that when you look back, when you think about, it brings joy to your heart.
Yeah, it's of this boy I told you about. We brought him in, and even me, I looked at him and I'm like, this boy looks like he drinks a lot, looks like he's messed up. How do I keep him in my house? And everyone was telling me, you can't bring such a boy in your house. But I'm happy that he, over time, because everyone in my home was working and he was laid back, maybe that's the way he was brought up. But he started to enjoy working and having a family, and right now he's working, he's hard working, so I'm happy. That's one change I'm proud of. Yeah, I saw it with my eyes. I'm happy about that.
Alright, I think now let's talk about the elephant in the room. As you approach your 70th birthday. I'm sure you're very excited about this milestone, and we want to know some of the biggest lessons you've learned on your journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of lessons. Life is a journey, and you can't stop learning. But I think I've learned that we should appreciate everything in life, because sometimes we have goals and we don't achieve them. We should not compare ourselves. For example, you can say, oh, I wanted all my children to graduate, but they did not. I wanted all my daughters to get married, but they haven't been married, or my sons to marry, or to be. Every parent wants a perfect child, but we forget to look at what we have achieved. You know, so we always want to compare with what we haven't achieved. I think appreciate everything in life, love life, have fun, be nice and kind to life and to people, because in my experience, I've learned it pays back. I think whatever I've achieved is because of what I've done for other people. So many people have gone through my hands, even way back from Uganda, and I think I'm being paid back, to be honest. I don't have everything I would want to have, but I think I'm happy where I am.
That's awesome.
Yes.
If you had one piece of advice that you could give to the younger generation, what would it be?
I think they should listen to people like us who have been in their shoes, because experience is the lesson you need to have, and you can't have it until you have walked that walk.
Exactly.
So I may not be a perfect person, I may not have the best, but I know something. Over this journey, there's something I know that you don't know, and which you can't know until you've walked this journey of life. So at least listen and respect people along the way, people you meet along the way in your life, and avoid groups that don't.
Where you don't belong.
Where you may think you belong there, but groups that don't lift you up.
They don't add value.
They don't add value to you. Avoid those groups, because before you know, you are going to become like them. Just keep people around you, people you are proud of, people you look at and you say, oh, I would like to be like them. They are hardworking, they are well behaved, you know, they are achievers, they have goals. Keep the right friends, because before you know, you are gonna slip away in the tracks of those people who are not the right people. And listen to, take advice. Yeah.
Awesome. So today is a special day.
Yeah.
Your last born is going away on a job in Qatar.
Yes.
How do you feel about his new chapter and this new journey he's taking?
I think I've seen him go through it, so it's kind of normal now. I was very scared when he went for his training in the army. I was very nervous, but because he was strong and he loved it, nobody told him to go do it. He did it because
he chose it by himself.
So that made me strong. So when he went through that, because I hear it's the toughest part, I became stronger, and he has been deployed before in Jordan and in Qatar. So I'm not scared. I'll just miss him around, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm happy he's finding his path in his own way. Yeah.
Wow, that is very warm.
Yes.
That's very warm to the heart. I understand that today is also one of your daughter's birthdays.
Yes.
How does that make you feel as a mother? So many big things happening at the same time.
Actually, it makes me look at myself and think, wow, I have a lot to thank God for, because I'm going to make 70, and the one we are celebrating today is in the middle of my children. So I'm like, oh God, how old am I? And I'm getting old, but I'm happy. I don't feel as old as I am.
Yeah.
I feel strong, And I think it's because of the genes I come from. My mother died when she was 94. She was working until she was 80 something. My dad died when he was 84. So I feel good, and I'm happy she's also making that journey. I've walked, she's walking that journey. She might be up and have the genes I have, and blessings to her.
That is awesome. All right, now we're going to go a little bit sideways with the questions coming up. Tell us what's one of your favorite things to do to unwind and relax?
By the way, I love being home. I love being home. For me, yeah, it's funny. In fact, when I leave work, I just run home. Even when there are people, my acquaintances, who say, "Oh, can we go this place?" My mind is always to come home and see what's going on at home. If I go to somewhere, I have to come home first.
Check in.
That's me. It just happens automatically. Just come home and sit and relax. I like to be with family here. I'm like, I have some of my children here. I have my 2 sons here, one of the last ones, and I have 2 daughters here. I have a daughter-in-law here. I have a grandson here. And normally Sunday I like being home. In fact, even in my church there's always tea, sometimes there's food, and I'm like, but Sunday is my family day. I make sure I cook because I know my children will come along, they know there's food. And that's a chance I have to see them, look them in the eye, get to talk to them and know what they're up to. Because sometimes these children have their own issues, and if you don't see them like physically, you don't know what they are going through. They may not be able to tell you, but when you interact and see them, you may get to know what's going on, or you may get a chance to say, oh, what's going on? Find a way to reach to them and talk to them. So I like being home. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite family traditions that you really cherish?
We always go home for Christmas. My children are all over the world. I have children, a daughter in Italy. I have a son in England. I have a daughter in Kenya. They are everywhere. I have a son in Dubai. We are here. So we try our best to be home for Christmas every year. We really try. We get intention on that. So that's my best time, to be with family. And when I get home, I invite all my nieces and nephews. I have a day for them. I cook, I buy drinks, I tell them, come home, everyone. If you want to spend a night, and those are my best times, because I'm a social person. I love people, and I'm very family oriented.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So Grace, we have brought some of your family.
Yes.
To say some words for you for your 70th birthday.
Oh, I appreciate that. What a surprise.
Hey everyone, my name is Carlton. My mom's last born, and so what can I say about my mom? I'll say that her life is a testament of endurance, resilience, and adapting to change. She's made a lot of changes. She's lived in Uganda, then lived in the UK, then moved here, and all the places she had to adapt and go with, it's like jumping on a treadmill that's already moving and then you just start running. So, and she did that, and I picked her leaf from that. I like to believe I adapt to any situation I'm thrown into. I picked that resilience from her as well. She's a very hard-working woman, almost clocking 70, and she'll wake up and go to work, and you will not even tell that she's a 70-year-old the way she'll be working. So she's achieved a lot. the fruits of her hard work and resilience have definitely paid off. And I just wish the best for her and a long life, and hopefully get to see and celebrate her 70th with her, despite me going overseas, going to Qatar, where I once was with a different entity, going back with a company now, and hopefully I'll get some time off and spend a 70th birthday with her.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Thank you. Thank you.
So Grace, it was a pleasure having you with us for this special family vlog that we put together. We thank you for your warm welcome into your home. We thank you for the wisdom. We thank you for the advice that you've shared with us today. And before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you if there is anything else you would feel you want to share.
I think I'll just say that, like Carlton said, I will just emphasize, just embrace any changes that come in your life, because no one promised us a perfect life, but whatever comes your way, embrace those changes and go along with it until you find a perfect way to live your life. Life is not perfect, and the hurdles will always be there, but the way you handle them is what matters. And another thing is family values. Family. For me, I always tell my children that even when I'm gone, I want you to remain together. Please, if you do that for me, I'll rest in peace. Because, you can change friends, you can change a partner, but you can't change family, and we don't get to pick families. What you get, whether it's a perfect one or not, that's the family God chose for you for a reason. And then the last one, just work hard. I came to US when I was in my 50s, but I managed to work and achieve whatever I achieved. Everyone has a portion in life. I can't say and regret and say, oh, I wish I came earlier. That wasn't my time.
Exactly.
The time I came was my time. So use whatever time you have at your best.
Awesome.
And God will be in it always.
That is beautiful. All right, Grace, thank you so much for spending this time with us, and we wish you a happy 70th birthday, and hope we can do this again some other time.
Thank you so much, and just go spread love. Just love each other and support each other.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you for having me again. God bless you.